What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Red Dead Ocelot, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Fallout 4. Yes, this is a very late video. I really haven't had much of the proper tools to make these types of videos, but now since I have my PlayStation 5, yes, I do make videos on my PlayStation 5. I do have a PC, and I do have Filmora 11 downloaded as well. So I'm planning on using that for more future content, so that way I can be able to do some more better implementations in terms of those types of tools through that app as I see fit, as long as I know how to use it. I'm learning. But anyways, too much further ado, I was going a little bit off topic. I just want to put that out there real quick for to further the knowledge there. So anyways, today we're talking about Fallout 4, as I previously stated or mentioned. Okay, this is a 17-minute and 25-second video, so I'm going to do as much as I can here to maintain a proper balance of what I really want to talk about Fallout 4 as a game, as a whole, and how far these Fallout games have come. I will mention one thing as well. I do own Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. I do own Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition, known as the Game of the Year Edition as well, for PC and for my PlayStation 3. Now, I did play a little bit of Fallout New Vegas. I did play a little bit of Fallout 3, and I thoroughly enjoyed for how much I played of those. But what I will say right now, as of right now, Fallout 4 was definitely my first Fallout game full-on playthrough for the first time ever. And the reason why I think I never really played Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas as a whole back in the day, or I could still play them on my PC, hence the reason why I was talking about that previously is because, you know, I heard that they're amazing games, and forthwith I'm hoping to go play those games in the not too distant future, hopefully, or eventually. So like I said, I'm going just a little bit off topic here. Can't speak today. But, you know, Fallout 4. Okay, so what I can really say about Fallout 4, I think it's a really good game. It's pretty solid. You know, I will say one thing. When it comes to open world games from Bethesda, specifically, for me, I still prefer Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls over Fallout. Yes, you heard me correctly on that, and I am sorry that I'm pointing my own opinion out there. But, you know, I'm entitled to it, so hopefully we can make sense of everything of what I'm really truly trying to talk about Fallout 4 here. And so, okay, Fallout 4. I really enjoyed this game for the very first time. And I do like the fact of what this game did, or what it does, as not just an FPS game, but to a role-playing standard. And its overall setting, you know, in post-apocalyptic Boston. And I think it's a really cool way of introducing something like this in a game. I do, however, know that there are other post-apocalyptic games out there, other than Fallout, or Fallout 4. There's a game called Chernobylite, which I do have a video on my channel as well, talking about that game. Not very extensively, but a little bit. And well, I was talking about that, you know, Chernobylite is a very much more realistic Fallout type of game, you know, because it's not arcadey as to what Fallout 4 does. So I was trying to go a little bit comparative gameplay, as it were, to what Fallout 4 is and for what it does, and opposite of what Chernobylite does. And hopefully we can make a sense of all things with that game as well at some point in the not too distant future. So anyways, going back to Fallout 4, I really do like the implementations of what Fallout 4 does. I think Fallout 4 does a really good job of, you know, maintaining its own type of game integrity. And what I mean by that, you know, it knows what it wants to do. It does not have an identity crisis. I feel like that Fallout 4, it's a good way of somewhat maybe reinventing the franchise in a way, but it's still part of the franchise to a certain extent because, you know, it's post-apocalyptic, right? You know, you have New Vegas. That was a post-apocalyptic as well, much like Fallout 3. But what makes Fallout 4 more unique from that of the past predecessors of those previous Fallout games from, Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas and Bethesda made Fallout 3, obviously. And I think what really makes Fallout 4 even more, maybe not different from that of Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, but the gameplay of Fallout 4 is not different at all. It feels like it's the same because it's a Fallout game, because you have New Vegas and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, obviously, and they're all RPG-ish. They're all RPG FPS games. They do have some really cool, interesting ideas of what these games are. Now, I think what makes Fallout 4 not really different, that's a wrong word. Fallout 4, to my understanding, it feels more that like of a more fleshed out first-person shooter, and maybe with less RPG mechanics. Because to my understanding, because with Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, the RPG aspects of those games were that you had to take care of your weapons, you had to repair them. It's the same thing with your gear in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. You have to maintain those as well. But in Fallout 4, all that was stripped away. Hence the reason why the RPG mechanics in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are totally non-existent. The only more RPG mechanic that I can say that Fallout 4 has is the perk system. And now I am sorry that I'm not showing the perks system in this video, is because I really don't think I need to. Because, there have been other videos in the past when this game first came out. Other YouTubers have gone through, the perk system and what the perks that you probably want necessarily to use in order to pertain or maintain a proper build as you see fit, what you want to do within the realm or world of Fallout 4. And it makes kind of sense that way. Wouldn't you agree? So, okay. Fallout 4, like I said, it does maintain a good aspect of what the game does. It's the concept. It's not just the concept, it's not just the aspect, it's everything of what this game does. And yes, it does feel like a Fallout game, but like I said, the RPG mechanics within the world of this game, like I said, it's totally non-existent. And I think that's a lot of reasons why a lot of people preferred to play this game on PC more so than on console. Yes, on console, you do have some mod support, but it's not as high priority on console as it is on PC, because on PC, with mods, you can basically mod to your heart's content on Fallout 4. Or any other Fallout games, to my understanding, or even Skyrim, or Oblivion, or Morrowind. I mean, you can do a whole bunch of types of different modifications on those specific said games. And it's crazy that consoles don't have that type of support what PC does in terms of these games specifically. And yes, there are other games on PC as well that you can mod as well. But to my understanding, though, it's like when it comes to the Bethesda games specifically, though, like I said, you can mod these games to your heart's content. And I'm telling you, from what I understand, these games are far more different in terms of not just the RPG mechanics, but it has to do with, its open world mechanic as well. And it has to do with its gameplay structure. And it's all different from that if you use mods. But when you're using vanilla game Skyrim, or vanilla game Fallout 4 or 3 or New Vegas, what do you have? It's all the same, right? And that's what makes it so different from the modding community in terms on PC versus console mod support. So, now, what I will say, Fallout 4, like I said, I did enjoy this game. I really did. I went through the different types of factions. You have the Railroad, you have the Brotherhood of Steel, you have the Minutemen. I did enjoy some of the factions. To my understanding, it's like if you go the Underground Railroad, there's a faction there as well. And if you go with the Underground Railroad, you will be able to unlock a specific type of thing that you can use on your gear. Not your weapons, but your gear set. You know, like your arms, like your legs, or your chest, or whatever. You can be able to maintain your gear a lot better using ballistic weave. Yes, you heard me correctly. Ballistic weave is a thing in this game, Fallout 4, and you can be able to maintain better gear integrity, and that way you'll be able to gain a proper balance support within, you know, like being able to withstand damage, no matter what kind of damage that you partake. Whether if it's energy, physical, or gunshot damage, you're able to maintain better integrity of that type of damage if you use ballistic weave. So that's a really good thing to use if you want to go that route. If you want to go with the Brotherhood of Steel, excuse me. If you want to go with the Railroad faction. And that's what I found out, though, too, when I first played this game as well. It's like, I wanted to go with the Railroad because I read about the ballistic weave thing. And by all means, I'm really glad that I did, because so that way I can be able to get that ballistic weave and maintain a good integrity on my gear and getting better, you know, getting better equipment and being able to upgrade my equipment with the ballistic weave. So that's really cool. Now, what I will say, science. I love the science perk in Fallout 4. It's really cool. And as you see here, I'm using the plasma pistol, or plasma rifle, as you can mod it up to. And what's really cool, it's like when you basically go up against an enemy, whether if you're noticed when you're in stealth mode, and when you have your crit bar all the way up, and then when you tap, whether if you're playing on PlayStation, PC, or on Xbox. I play on PlayStation. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. I'm not an Xbox fanboy, and I'm not a PC fanboy. I'm not, because I love all systems. I have a high. What's that word? I have a really high respect for these systems as we are in the new era of gaming. But anyways, like I said, I'm going off topic. Now, when you use the plasma rifle specifically, what's really nice, like I said, what's really nice about this rifle is that you can be able to, once you get your critical hit bar all the way up, and then once you click, if you're playing on PlayStation or Xbox, once you click your L2 button and be able to, and then while you're in VATS, you are able to press, once you get into VATS mode, and once you trigger your L2, and then you mark L, is it R2? I believe it's R2. And then when you do that, you can be able to do this. You can ghoulify your enemies. It's really cool. It's definitely one of the greatest things, I think, what Fallout 4 did. I'm not exactly sure if you were able to do that in 3 or in New Vegas. I'm sure you can, but like I said, I didn't play much in New Vegas or Fallout 3. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I think I should go back and play those games fully, especially on PC. So that's a good thing for that part. I'm trying to think about here to close this whole entire video off once we get to the close of this video. I think Fallout 4's story was interesting. You know, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you know, it was, to me, it didn't really it was a little bit of a clusterfuck, pardon my language, a little bit, because when you're at the beginning of the game, you get frozen, right? Whether if you play female or male. I chose female. And so your husband gets frozen, and then he actually ends up getting killed by Kellogg. And then your son Sean gets kidnapped, and then when you find out, if you go through the Institute faction, you are able to find out that, you know, Sean is alive. You know, Sean is actually the person that sent Kellogg to go, like I said, it's a clusterfuck. So, I mean, by all means, if you want to know more about that whole entire story, which I'm sure a lot of people do, I really don't need to mention it. So you already know exactly where I was going with this. And so it's like, for me, I'm just like, okay, that was interesting enough. I wasn't really quite expecting what I was trying to expect. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, alright, that's cool. I mean, you know, like I said, you know, Fallout 4 does have a good story. But once I finished everything in Fallout 4, I can say this right now. It's a very empty open world. And I think Fallout 4, comparing it to Skyrim, I can say right now, Skyrim has more meat on its bones than Fallout 4 does. And so I think that's probably going to be another video, is talking about, you know, the full extensive of Skyrim versus Fallout 4's extensive world itself. Doing a little bit of comparison, as I might add. So hopefully that'll make sense of all things. So going back to Fallout 4, Fallout 4 does not it does have meat on its bones, but it's not as, it's lacking. And I feel like that, I think, like I said, Skyrim does things a little bit better in terms of its open world, because you're always going to find stuff. And I felt like in Fallout 4, you did have that, but at the same time, it just kind of fell flat. Skyrim didn't have that feeling for me. So, I just thought I'd put that out there real quick as well. So, anyways. So but overall, I really did enjoy this game quite a bit. It was a good game, but it's not a game that I would probably maybe eventually go back into at all. So, but anyways, this is Red Dead Ocelot. Thank you for tuning in. But watch any more future videos here on my channel. Please put a like, notification bell, subscribe, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend, and peace.